Okay, tonight, Yvonne and myself, are your ears still ringing?
I can hear a lot better than I can.
I can hear ringing in this one, not as much in this one.
Yeah.
We went and we saw Bush and Stone Temple Pilots and the Cult.
Yep,
And
yep.
before that was the Pack AD.
AC. Is it AD?
AD.
Okay.
Yeah, that's where her phone came out of. That's right.
Girls know exactly what I was doing because I'm not the only one that does that.
No, I know. I know you're not. But for
Yeah,
guys, they'll be like, wait, what?
Pack AD.
The Pack AD is an Auto Domini or Anno Domini or Auto Dominus or Apple Dominus or Apple Tomato or whatever you
No
want to
idea
call
what
it.
you're talking about.
The AD in their name.
I didn't see
And
anything
I
that
mention them
about
because, remember, whenever we go to concerts, I tend to like the opening act a lot. And in this case, it's two women out of Vancouver.
Yeah.
And they're really
They're
good.
pretty darn awesome.
For a band of two, they did very, very well.
That was crazy sounding for
So,
two people.
I'm going to be looking up a lot of their music.
Yeah,
I'm
they're
going to be
fun.
playing it, and I know that it'll be popular with the kids.
Yes, Adelaide especially.
I
likes
posted
women
I
musicians.
posted a 30-second clip on my Twitter and my Instagram while we were at the concert because I was so impressed. And so hopefully there's good things in the future for that band. And if the Deads ever need somebody to open up for them when they come
How
here,
fun would
that
that
would be an
That would
amazing
be a really
concert.
fun
Those two back to back
Yes.
would be great. So if we can somehow put those two bands together, I'd be so happy.
That would be really fun.
Someday when we have like a hockey guy concert series,
There we go.
you know, once a year I could put together and bring in the Deads and bring in the Pack AD and,
There you go.
you know, maybe Veruca Salt. If I could get Veruca Salt,
There you go.
then that'd be 3 all-women groups with the exception of Dolly Dead.
Yeah.
Be the only dude. And all the rest would be women. Which I don't know whether to tell Dolly congratulations or not. Because that could be a rough backstage area.
I'm sure he
If
is
they don't all
used
get
to being
along.
around a lot of women musicians.
This is true. So we saw them and we were impressed by them. They played 5 or 6 songs. Or no, yeah, it was 6.
It was a
think it
decent
was 6.
amount.
And it was fun. And then Bush came out.
Yes. And I was so excited.
And Bush honestly was the most fun band of the night.
They were really fun.
Bush was so much fun.
I liked
Now,
them. That was so fun.
I'm going to say this for Gavin Rossdale. He sounded the same as he did 25 years ago.
Yes, he did.
His range has never been great.
No.
He's got-
never had, like, one of those voices where you just hear him sing and you just like, oh, his voice.
But he's...
Like Maynard. It's not like a Maynard type voice.
Oh, no. He's...
Right?
And we'll get to voices later on. But Gavin Rossdale and Bush were kind of amazing.
They were really fun.
And I was
And
surprised by how good they were.
I liked
Because
all of the songs and they were really fun.
back in the 90s, I think it was Rolling Stone said they were the worst live band, period. They
That's
said
sad.
Bush was the worst live band that there was.
They might have taken that as a challenge then.
Well,
I don't know.
You
They
know,
were fun.
and he has a dance.
It was so funny. So, yeah, he dances and his dance, he looks like he's high. And
He sounds
doesn't-
like he's high when he talks.
Yes, he does, yes. We're all on a spaceship.
We're in a spaceship in the
We're
universe.
a spaceship together for happiness and
I think he talked
turning
about
on our
flowers
phones,
at some
our
point too.
phones. So intergalactic.
Yeah, when we had all the phones, he had us turn our phones on
I
with
have no idea what he was talking about.
the
light.
the light on your phone. He wanted all the lights on.
It's intergalactic
Which,
something.
what was funny was when all the phones came on, all I could think was Maynard would hate this moment. Because you go to an Perfect Circle concert, you're out if your cell phone's on at all.
Yeah, you can't have it
And
on.
you are gone. We saw it. So
That was really cool, though.
that was amazing. It was so much fun to see a concert without a cell
Yes.
phone. And
That
this
is
one,
so annoying when people have
but
their
I will
phones
say
out
this.
videoing. in
I
front
will
of
say
you.
this for tonight's concert. I didn't see much of it because it was an older crowd.
Older. It was a lot older. Yeah, we were the
We
young
felt
ones.
young. It
We
was nice to
were.
feel young. And I wore Detroit gear, which means that people thought I was a Wings fan. And eventually, I don't know if you noticed, I stopped
anyway,
arguing about it.
So Gavin's dance.
Yes.
So he dances, like he's high, and like he can't hear the beat of the music. So he doesn't dance to the beat of
You know
the
that
music.
you know that when people say dance like no one's watching,
I
that's Gavin.
No, see, I thought it looked like he's singing one song, but he had a different song going on in his head. There was some completely different music in his
It was
head.
funny because it's not completely unlike when I dance around the living room.
Because I kept looking at Shannon. You could totally do this dance.
I've done that dance.
If Shannon did that dance, I would think
done
it was
that
so
dance.
cute.
I've done it.
Because Shannon's
And I was like, but
dances,
Gavin can get away with it because he's Gavin Rossdale.
pretty cute. And so I kept telling Shannon, see, you could do that dance.
Bush played all the hits. So they hit all their best songs.
They did a lot of...
they started
really
with
fun
Machine
ones.
Head. They ended with Come Down. And it was all amazing in between.
It was awesome.
There were a couple songs that were but I was never a big fan of that war song. And I was never a huge fan of The Sound of Winter. But the rest of it, like Little Things, Everything Zen. What was it he did during Everything Zen? What happened during Everything Zen? I'm trying to remember now.
I don't know.
Was it the dance that made us laugh during Everything Zen?
There's
or what happened during Everything
when he was
Zen?
rolling on the floor.
Yeah.
He was rolling on the ground. It was
Yeah.
so, like, actually laying on the ground, and I was pointing out to Shannon, look at, none of his bandmates are even looking at him.
The other band members are just on their own. They're not looking. And it was almost like, okay, Gavin's doing his thing, and if we don't look and we don't encourage it, maybe he'll stop. It's like with kids. When you know they're doing something wrong, and you're like, maybe if I just pretend, because they're doing it for attention, and if I just look the other way.
Just rolling around on the ground.
Is Gavin still on the floor? Yeah. Oh, God. He is so
it was
high.
Really funny. Yes. Oh, him talking. Gosh, it was so weird.
He definitely sounded like he was
weird,
on another
yes.
planet. But he never forgot a word of a song.
No. Yeah. Which
So,
is,
I don't
something.
believe that he was under any artificial influence. If he was, he nailed it.
Yeah.
He nailed
did
it.
really good, and he liked the girls in the front.
See, now there were some young girls in the front that had some glowing headgear.
No, okay, they had, the little glowing bracelets that you pop them, and they
what I
had them
mean.
everywhere.
And so he's down flirting with the girls, but I couldn't figure out whether he was flirting with them or if he was just acknowledging they were flirting with him.
Yeah.
So I didn't know which one it was, but what was weird is that
did
Gavin
you not see him?
Rossdale...
He was going... And then he was saying there's...
I know, but the dude's my age.
Right.
And those girls were maybe, 19?
And they didn't know the songs.
No.
You know how you can tell when you're at a concert and people listening don't know the songs at all?
Yeah.
They didn't know
They
the
certainly
songs.
didn't seem to know them very well.
No.
But we haven't got to the weird part yet.
Oh, and he sang a Beatles song.
He did. He sang Come Together. And I recognized it right away. Right away I was like, that's Come Together.
Yep.
And she wore Beatles.
I know,
So she
it was
wore...
fitting.
Because their tour shirts are crap.
Yeah.
The Bush shirts were boring.
They were sad.
The Cult shirts were boring, and they were $45 each. And I'm like, I'm not paying $40 for
if you
a shirt.
like Stone Temple Pilots, they had fun ones, but
Stone Temple
weren't there to
Pilots...
see them.
Stone Temple Pilots came out second. If you like STP, they were fine.
Yeah.
They sounded good.
There were some people biased that really liked them.
5 songs into their set, I tuned out. I got through Plush.
Yeah.
And then I just tuned out. And I only tuned back in to sing that one song.
The weird dog song.
When the dogs can find her, smell her, all that. Took time, wait for tomorrow to find it.
I was never a fan of them, though.
We
and
sang.
They way overplayed it.
We sang that song together, even though we don't really like it very much.
Because
it played so much back in the day.
Oh my gosh. It was on all the time. And even then, it was like, I really don't like this song.
And I'd hear it on the radio and be like, oh, they're playing it again. Why is it on again?
And that's almost all the songs.
Did they run out of Pearl Jam? And then a lot
almost
of it.
All the songs they were singing. Oh, I still am irritated with this song.
And
there are way too many of them.
There's a lot of songs that I recognized, and I'm
I'm
not a Stone Temple Pilots fan, but if you were, you would have been happy. They played very well. Their stage set was good. The one thing we missed with Bush was the weird video images in the background.
Oh yeah.
So
that's right.
They project like a music video for each song, which with Machine Head was just a cityscape, which worked. It wasn't
really a music video.
Which worked. Well, it's a backdrop.
It's a musical backdrop. Video, a simple
so,
video.
For Everything Zen, they have these go-go girls, go-go dancers on the screen. Not really there, but on the screen.
It was like a silhouette, so shadows. So you can't actually see features, you just see the shadows of them, kind of.
and they have these girls.
They're not even dancing to the beat of the music.
No, they weren't.
Like, they're dancing to something completely
and
different.
then towards the end, one of them has a chainsaw.
Chainsaws. No,
one of them had
chainsaws
pruning shears that she stuck in the other girl's head.
Yeah.
And then the other one gets stabbed in the chest, and then they both fall dead.
When
then,
most of the thing they were go-go dancing, and all of a sudden
the weird part is that after they show them both dead, and it's just silhouettes and fake blood all over the place, then they show them just standing there. Did you notice it was the silhouettes of the girls standing there at the end? And I'm like, so what? Why?
It was weird.
For everything Zen?
It was weird.
I don't even understand how that factors into the song Everything Zen.
Most of the videos didn't go except for Come Down. The video kind of went with that.
Come Down. I was so busy singing along, and I had my eyes closed through a lot of it, and I just lost myself in the moment, and I didn't notice anything on the screen.
That one, the screen
actually
kind of went with it.
And then when the crowd sang along with Come Down, that was magic.
That was awesome.
Fantastic, and it was magic, and it was wonderful. And then so.
Oh, Gavin stood by us.
Yeah, we didn't notice. We didn't notice at first, but she saw him standing down near us, and we didn't say anything. We didn't snap any pictures because we're not like that.
We're not creepers.
It's sort of like when I saw Rammstein in Edmonton. My ex and I went to Edmonton, and we saw Rammstein, and we were backstage. We could hear them practicing because we're like, you got to hear them practicing. That's so awesome. That's Rammstein. They're playing. That's kind of Lust. So we hear them practicing, and then Paul, a minivan drives up. Paul gets out of the back of the minivan. Might as well got out of the trunk for the way he looked. And I'm thinking, there's a really interesting story about how Paul ended up in the back of a minivan. Well, the band's already practicing. I want to know what was going on with him, but we didn't say anything to him. We didn't acknowledge we knew who it was. And that was kind of like what we did tonight with Gavin. And then after they were done and Stone Temple Pilots were playing, Gavin was out there again with his sunglasses and incognito. And then when he noticed people were looking at him, he backed up. So he was kind of watching Stone Temple Pilots for a while, and then they buggered off.
It was weird how many of the band members for the whole concert were wearing sunglasses.
Yeah. Yeah.
Both Stone Temple Pilots and the Cult. They were wearing sunglasses.
Well, see, and okay, so
weird.
After Stone Temple Pilots, the Cult comes out, and I've always liked the Cult. Here's the tricky thing. My favorite album from the Cult is the self-titled album from the mid-90s. That was the album where a lot of people thought they went off the rails, which had songs like Coming Down, Star. There were a ton of them. I know every song off that album by heart. They didn't sing one of them tonight. But what I noticed was, and I noticed this around Wild Hearted Son. Now, it is the original band member. So you got Brian Duffy and you got Ian as the lead singer. And Ian looked pretty good.
Yeah.
I thought he looked good.
Yeah.
And his voice is good.
Yeah.
There hasn't been any degradation of his voice as they've gotten older. And some 80s bands don't sound like they used to.
No.
And I thought the Cult sounded amazing.
They did sound good.
But, and I noticed this starting with Wild Hearted Son, when Ian sings the lyrics to these old songs now, he's changed the way he sings them. And as a fan of...
It changes the tempo or changes where there's a rest or...
or the words.
Yes.
And so when we get to Firewoman, which I know really well, the words were completely different in the way that he sang them. Some parts where he's supposed to go up, he went down. It's their music. Totally fine. But part of the fun of seeing a concert where you're hearing all these old songs is being able to sing along. And with the way Ian was singing that, and then She Sells Sanctuary and Love Removal Machine on all three of them, completely changed the way he sang them, and I couldn't sing along. And I was like, all right, I guess we're good. The only one that I heard that I didn't think that it had been changed very much was Rain. But maybe that's just because they don't sing that one as much. And again, I'm not trying to criticize. This could be an example of Ian looking at this and going, you know what, I've sang this song for decades. I am
exactly
so tired of this song. I'm not singing it this way again. I'm sick of it. Maybe they tear his voice up. Maybe he just wants to do them different. But again, as a fan who's never heard the Cult live before, it was kind of a bit of a downer because you want to sing along with your favorite songs, and then you can't. And then you're kind of standing there like, all right, I'm good. I'm just going to stand here. I'm going to remember that moment when we all sang Come Down, and I'm just going to focus on that. and just ride this out. But the band sounded fantastic. The Cult sounded amazing, and then Brian Duffy lost his mind at the end of the concert.
Yes. He had a misbehaving amp.
He had an amp that wasn't working, and I'm not sure what it was. I don't know if it was too loud, if there was feedback.
He was having trouble with it earlier.
And he went over and he kicked it, and then he started arguing.
I saw him a couple songs before that. He was having issues with it, and he was tapping it with his foot, and he was trying to kind of signal the people down on the
sound guys.
Equipment.
Yeah, sound guys.
He was trying to talk to them, but it was in the middle of a song. He was trying to talk to them and telling them what was wrong.
Because it was distracting him.
Yes. And so I think just by that end song, it might have gotten worse or something.
Oh, he was done.
But then he was just ticked. And
he was done.
He kicked it.
So the love removal machine for him was the amp.
Yeah, he was yelling at it.
This is my love removal machine, the amp.
The amp's right here and the guys are down here. It looks like he's just yelling at the amp, which was kind of funny.
He may have started off yelling at the amp and then turned to the guy and been like, "This is your problem," because he kicked it and then he yells at the guy, and then the guy came up on stage after the last song, and he was just reaming him out.
Well, I think he was probably mad because he had been telling them that there was
and it distracted them during the big finish.
Yeah.
So it's like, this is the big finish. This is my song. And Brian Duffy, man, you don't mess with him. And you know, the guy's a legend. And yeah, he was choked.
Yeah.
He was mad. So that kid looked terrified when he brought him up on stage and was just reaming him out. That kid looked genuinely terrified. He looked like he was about 18 years of age.
He didn't.
And I don't think either he didn't know what was going on or he froze. Either it was that he didn't understand what Brian was mad about, or he didn't know how to fix it, or maybe it was just, oh crap, there's all these people watching and singing along, and now this amp isn't working, I don't know how to fix it. But in and amidst all this, there was bizarreness, and there was some funny moments. There were two guys we watched crawl over the steel folding chairs. Men, don't crawl over steel folding chairs.
You can tell it's an old people concert.
When
on the floor, instead of a mosh pit, they've got rows of metal chairs. Which was different.
Yeah, and they enforced it, kind of.
Not really.
Not if you were a hot girl. But if you were a guy that was moving around, they enforced it. They had that
one row they didn't want people to go in. But I felt bad for the people that had purchased their tickets in the front 3 rows. Because everybody kind of crowded into those 3 rows. But then behind that, people stayed in their designated
if you have to go to the washroom, it's hard to get out. And all these chairs are right next to each other. So these guys are climbing over. And I think it was because they had to go to the washroom. The one guy climbs over and he wiped out. He wiped out. And then the funny part was, he wipes out, and then he gets up, and then he's just sort of like...
He's standing there.
Yeah, I'm fine. No problem. And then his buddy is climbing over and crotches himself on it. So his foot slips and just boom, right there. And I was like,
oh! We were already laughing at the first guy.
Oh, and he wedgied himself, too. So he not only crotched himself, but he had it rammed right up his backside, too.
It was really funny.
And then when he was walking out, he was kind of a little bit in pain. You could see that he was having trouble walking.
Yes.
Because I think he had a beer in one hand, too. So it's one of those things where, men, put your beer down. Your beer's not more important than your crotch. So just watch the crotch going over. Because those chairs, they move. They're wobbly. And when you've had a drink or two, don't climb over a steel chair. Just don't do it. I've never climbed over a folding chair, and that's why.
He stood on it.
It's bad idea. And then
that's why he
crotched
stood
himself
on
on
it.
it.
His foot went,
I mean, it was funny.
It was funny watching people at this.
But as funny as that was, nothing is funnier than watching a woman around my age trying to throw her bra onto the stage.
There were some interesting people.
And there were 2 women. There was one first, and she was at the washroom when it happened. So this woman, dark-haired woman, about my age, I think, maybe a little bit younger. She gets down to the front row, so what she did was, she put her feet on the chair in front of her, and then, like, sort of slither her way over the chair. It's the only way I can put it, is that so she slid over the chair. So instead of climbing down, she would put the seat down with her foot, and then sort of slip her ass into it, and then put her feet over the next row, and slip her, and then I'm like...
Oh, yeah, I know what you're talking about.
It was weird. Just climb over the damn chairs. So, that was weird, and then she gets down to the front row, and she has her bra. So she yells out to a girl who's in the front row of the mosh pit. Because, well, Anyways, at the
On
front
the
at the
floor.
front row on the floor.
The floor.
And this girl goes, "What?" And she goes, "Here." And she throws her bra to this girl. And this girl gets her bra and she goes, "Ew!" And she chucks it to this guy. And the guy just looks at it and goes like this, like he's gonna rip it. And he's looking back at the woman like, "What do you want me to do with this?" And she's like, "Just give it back to me." And I'm like, what in the hell is going on? So he throws it back to the woman, and then she just stands there with the bra in her hand. Then Yvonne comes back, and I'm like, "You're not going to believe this." Now, I don't know what happened with her, because I didn't see her again. I don't know. I know the plan was she wanted it to go to the stage. I guess Ian or Brian or one of the members of the cult needed bras. Because then this other blonde lady comes walking by, the row in front of us, and she has a bra in her hand. She gets down to the front row. She started trying to call security over. Yes, or one of the sound guys.
I think she was trying to get down to the floor.
In front of the barriers? Did she think that was a thing?
Yeah, because girls.
Because of a bra?
Yeah, well, when you're a girl.
It's not 1986.
You're a girl, so.
No, underwear throwing days are over, and it's just not hygienic.
Hygienic? I've got cat fur in my nose.
Like, and just reverse this, and the whole night I've been thinking this, like, is there ever a time where a dude could go to the washroom, take his underwear off, and throw it on the stage to a woman where she'd catch it and think, this looks good? Like, it's such a... I can't see that in reverse, so these women...
No.
Who are, I would think, old enough to know better?
You'd think.
And then the funniest part was, so the blonde gets down to the front row, and she's trying to get anybody to pay attention to her, and everybody's ignoring her. Yeah. Except people around her that seem to be kind of like, what the hell's going on? And then all of a sudden, I see out of the corner just a bra flying onto the floor.
And it falls into the... on the floor, there's the barrier, and then there's the stage, and there's the security guy there. The bra just goes plunk right in the floor.
Nobody in the band saw it.
The security guard just kind of...
Yeah, nobody in the band saw it. It was completely pointless. And there were two security guys who were just sort of like, okay.
In the world? Okay.
All right, then. And I don't think anybody picked it up.
No, they didn't.
I think they just left it like, that didn't happen. And we're just going to pretend nothing happened.
Kind of watching her after that.
And, yeah. Now, they did shine a light on somebody that was a few rows in front of us, but I don't know what that was for. I don't know if that was drugs.
That was my guess.
Or if there was fighting or something going on down there.
I was guessing they were doing drugs. Just because of
it's not pot, though, because...
Oh, no.
If it was pot, nobody cares. I mean, we smell pot all night.
Oh, yeah.
And it's going to be legal in October, so nobody cares. So, nobody cares. It's BC, and it's a concert. Nobody cares about pot. No. So, it had to be something else going on there. But yeah, it was a fun night. I would say that was a fun night. I'm going to definitely check out the Pack AD.
Yeah, they're fun.
I'm going to look up a lot of their stuff. And I'm going to probably listen to some Cult. And some Bush over the next little while to...
Bush was so fun.
Bush was amazing.
That was really fun.
Honestly, that's the most fun I've had watching a band in a while. They
were really fun.
And I have to say, Gavin is aging extremely well.
He is.
I looked him up on stage and I'm like, man, that dude's about my age. I am so out of shape. He is, the drummer wasn't about the same shape as I was, though. The drummer was about my age and looked about the same shape as me, and I thought, all right, that's good. So, but Gavin kind of had the rock star, I'm sexy and I know it thing going on.
Yeah, he did.
And I think when he went through the crowd, I think he got groped a lot.
He did. Oh my gosh, I felt kind of bad for him because there were a couple times you saw women actually go and hang.
Oh, they muckled onto him.
Glom onto him, and he's just like, no.
Because he went into the crowd and he went through the rows, and there's 3 security guys chasing him, and I felt bad for them.
After he only made the third guy, and there was only 2 out following.
There was a third, but he was so far back.
Yeah.
It was like you could almost tell he's like, I'm not getting paid enough for this crap.
Yeah.
Because I wondered, did they know beforehand, or is this sort of, all right, you're going that way? Because, yeah, they looked miserable the whole time. And they're behind them, and I'm thinking, okay, if somebody in this crowd's crazy, they're behind them.
Yeah.
What the hell good is it? You got to have one in front and one behind, so that if some crazy person, he can make sure that the path is clear.
It was weird watching, so we saw him go, around so we could see the whole thing. And the crowd just...
And, those women really muckled onto him. Yes, and if one of them was crazy and armed with something, Because we didn't go through a metal detector going in tonight.
No, yeah, and I mentioned that because
no metal detector.
I don't remember the last time we went to a concert there wasn't a metal detector.
I had my phone and my keys, and I'm like, oh,
That's
okay. I don't need to take my phone and my keys out. I feel stupid. All right, and then we just went through.
Yeah, I don't remember.
I can't remember the last time we went, and that we did. We even had a metal detector when we went and saw Seether and Dead's in 10 years.
Yes.
A few weeks ago, and that was a great concert.
That was really fun.
You know, if we saw, okay, so the Pack AD,
yeah,
Bush and Dead's,
that'd be amazing.
That would be an amazing concert.
That would be.
So Meta, if you see this, you can hook that up.
They've played with Bush before.
They have played with Bush, and I know the Pack AD would work so well with them.
Yes.
It would be seamless between those two bands.
That would be really fun.
They would be amazing. So set that up. The Pack AD sort of sounded like there was a White Stripes feel to them because it was two people.
Yeah.
And there was a Blondie feel to some of the music.
Yeah.
That I got, which I've also got a Blondie feel from some songs of the Dead's as well.
Yes.
And there was definitely some punk in there.
Yes.
There was a lot of fun stuff. But yeah, you know, it was a good concert though. All three bands played really well, and then the opening act that we had never heard of and was not on the bill kind of stole their part of the show.
Yeah.
They were
and
a fun little band.
all the silly people that get there late, I really don't get it.
What the hell is it with people? The concert was tagged to start at 6, and most people didn't start till 7. Most people didn't get there till 7.
It was terrible how empty the place was at 6. I was actually getting concerned.
There was like a couple hundred people there at 6 o'clock.
There was barely anybody there. I was like, are they going to tell us to move up? Or
I was worried that...
really empty in here.
And I figured the concert started late because they were waiting till more people showed up.
Right.
I thought, you know what, they're not going to start now because nobody's here.
Shadows of Spaz. Did everybody know that there was another opening band? Or like us, we thought there was just the 3 bands.
I didn't see it on my tickets.
There were 3 bands.
Yeah,
and we didn't even know what order they were playing in.
No, it was weird.
So I thought that was so bizarre that it was so empty at 6 o'clock.
Yep.
When we got to, like, into the concert, it was pretty packed. The floor looked like the floor might have been sold out.
It was close.
The seats around weren't.
It was close.
But like in our area,
the back corners was empty. Well, it wasn't completely full in our area.
Mostly, though, there weren't very many empty seats. There were
the first 2 rows were kind of half, and the first row to our left was almost completely empty.
Yeah.
Except the 80s girls down front.
Oh, yeah.
And that was weird.
It was.
Anytime you see a concert like this, you're going to see people that may very well want it to be the 80s again.
Yes. Oh, there was a lot of
girls with the big hair and their boobs up and out.
Oh yeah, the whole like
push it together and push them up and almost falling out.
Up and you're like,
so if they sneeze hard enough, they'll just fall right out.
Yes.
Yeah, there was a lot of that going on. There was that one girl in the 3rd or 4th row there that was walking up like, holy crap.
Yeah, it was kind of funny. There was a lot of older people too, which was really fun, and they were all just dancing all
There
crazy.
were people who really thought they could dance.
It was funny.
There were a couple of women who thought not only they could dance, but they were sexy.
Yes.
They were dancing like, I am so hot. And it was like,
yes.
it was impressive and it was kind of inspiring.
But I bet all the drunk men around them thought that was great.
Well, the one guy there started dancing, but he was dancing like that video Praise You.
Yes.
He was doing almost the same motions as Praise You by Fatboy Slim, which is a great video. That's going to be in the 100 greatest videos of all time. Spoiler alert. But yeah, he was doing that because he did the splits.
Yes.
Not on purpose either.
It was so
he just sort of fell and I'm thinking it's because that floor was probably covered in beer.
Yes. Did you see the woman fall?
Yeah,
she
it was
fell
funny.
And she was really drunk.
It was so funny.
Because the guys that helped her up, like at first I thought she might have known him because she just hugged him and kissed him, and then walked away. Like, oh, they really didn't know each other. Nope. She was just grateful for
She was just being happy.
No, but that was the spot they had just mopped up twice.
Yeah. So. And even after mopping up a floor like that, because it's concrete, it's still slippery.
Yeah.
I know I did that at Trade Extra. I'm like, I'm mopping this, but man, I'm putting a sign on it because it's still crappy.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a good concert, and it's fun to see something in Abbotsford. That's our last concert now until October, when we're going to see the Dead South.
Yay!
I got the tickets for her. She's very excited to see the Dead South at the Commodore.
Fun.
And then in December, we've got 3 Days Grace.
Yay! which I'm super duper excited about.
And we got Letterkenny in
That'll be
December.
fun, too.
That's going to be amazing seeing a Letterkenny comedy special live at
That'll
the
be fun,
Orpheum in Vancouver.
We've never done anything like that.
No. And
So that'll be different.
and then next month we got WWE, which I'm doing the yay about because hopefully I get to see either Alexa or Sasha.
Yeah.
Hopefully. Because where we are, it's past the ring a little bit, but it's next to where the entry ramp is.
Oh, true.
So they'll come down the ramp. I should have a really good view of all the wrestlers coming in, and it'll be upsetting if it's all dudes.
I do, for the most part, enjoy the women wrestlers better, so I would agree with that assessment.
I have no argument with that.
The women wrestlers, I prefer them, though their stories are stupid.
Because the writers don't take them seriously.
No.
I've told you this. The women...
I know, it's stupid.
They just get throwaway storylines.
But
I
think the women...
That means I also get to see Elias in a month, which is going to be awesome. Elias is so fun. He is awesome. So, yeah, there you go. So, if you get a chance to see the Revolution 3 concert, I think they said they had 4 more concerts to go.
Yeah.
They're going to Hamilton, I think they said.
Wow.
I think they said Hamilton. So, if you have a chance to see this concert, absolutely go. Odds are it's probably not sold out. If you have a concert near you, go sell it out and see them. And enjoy...
Yeah, Bush was really fun.
Enjoy Gavin's dancing.
That was awesome.
You are welcome.
You could totally do that.
Because something I've been thinking about doing, I used to do this before I had a hockey channel. I would, get frustrated at the end of the week. I'd have a couple of drinks, and then I would do a lip sync concert where I would line up.
Cute.
I would line up like 35 minutes of music, and I would play them all in a certain order, and then I'd lip sync all of them, and then I would put that video on my channel. Well, when the hockey channel started going, I was like, I gotta get rid of all this crap. So I got rid of them all. But I had the idea a while ago that maybe I should do that at 50,000. And I thought, I can't. I just can't. That's too goofy. But I'll do it. And I'll do it, and I'll post it on Patreon. And then what I'll do is every time the channel gets to a certain predetermined amount of subscribers, I will post another lip sync concert where I lip sync to my favorite songs. Now remember, when I do this, they're all copyrighted, so I can't touch them. I don't make a single cent off the video. It's just being done for fun. The only trick is that there are times where YouTube will grab a song and then mute it. So there's no audio for certain parts. I'm pretty sure I should know which songs get muted, but I'll upload it and figure it out from there. But I'll do it. What the hell? Seeing Gavin dancing around at my age, I thought, you know what? He's having fun. And he looks kind of goofy, but he's having fun, and I can do that. Yep. I can do that.
Shannon's good at goofy dancing, and
I can do that.
I might be biased, but I think he's pretty darn cute. So...
I used to, when I was a little kid in my room, I used to use a putter as like my air guitar, and then it would be my microphone as well. So I do the air guitar and then microphone, air guitar, microphone, which with Blondie's Atomic works so well. Because it was bass and guitar, because there's that awesome bass solo with Atomic.
There you go.
It's just amazing, and it's just this really good song you can groove to. And then you can do the dance with it too. It's just so much fun, because it's got that really good beat, and there's hardly any lyrics to it. So that was my thing when I was a kid, was that I would do the whole air guitar and lip sync, and I can do that as sort of a way of celebrating hitting certain milestones. I don't intend to do that on the Entertainment Guy channel, but I do need to find some kind of a celebration at milestones. Other than just, well, I hit a milestone. Thanks. So we're near 4,000 on this channel. Hopefully we'll get there soon. But yeah, so there you go. We don't rate concerts, but I had fun.
It was awesome.
It was fun.
I was thinking, though, we need to start like a list of all the concerts we've seen.
I think we can rate. I think we can rate bands that we've seen.
We need
on
to
a
have
scale
a
of 1 to
list,
10.
Though. We're gonna start losing track or forgetting concerts.
Well, we don't have to track the concert, just which bands we've seen.
Yes, we need to have it wrote down somewhere.
So, it's a limited number right now. We'll figure it out.
I know.
Or you can figure it out.
Just thinking while we were there, we need to start writing this down. We're gonna start forgetting stuff.
But it's...
And then when we're old, we're like, look at all the cool concerts we went to.
We did go to a lot.
We have gone to a lot.
A lot.
It's kind of awesome.
It's been fun. For me, it's a matter of making up for lost time. Before I met Yvonne, I'd been to Rammstein twice, Slipknot once, Tesla once. So that's 4 altogether. And 5440 played my grad. And done.
I'd been to a lot more.
That's it. Before I met her, that's all I had seen. And I always had this attitude of, yeah, that band's coming through, but well, I don't need to see them live. I have all their CDs, and I don't feel like going into Vancouver, and I was so dumb. It unpaused.
Oh, I can't see anything though. Dear Lord. That's surprising.
It unpaused because we paused for too long. We paused for too long.
Okay.
All right, I'm going to shut her off there, but if you went to this concert, let me know what you thought. Let me know what you saw. If you were on the other side and you saw what happened to that bra. Or the other bra.
I've seen it from there.
It's so weird. And if you were the girl in the front row that went, ew, no, and threw it away, I would love to have talked to her because that was a hilarious reaction. Because I think that would have been your reaction too. Some woman throws you her bra, some stranger. Because at first I thought, oh, she must know her. And then when the girl's reaction was, ew, I was like, okay, so she doesn't know her. So we're friendly.
I was discussing with the babysitter. So I was thinking this during the concert. So bras aren't really cheap. You don't own a lot of bras, especially if they're nice ones. So do you think they went to a store and brought like cheapy ones just to bring to the concert for the purpose of throwing it? You know, and if they had matching bras, they probably shopped together. They probably went to like Winners or something and found the cheapest bra they could. Or it was an older bra and the elastic was dying. But bras aren't cheap.
No,
I don't
they're
think
not.
you would throw a perfectly good bra on stage. That's just silliness.
No. And you're not going to just pass it to some stranger.
Because otherwise, I would think you'd be really drunk, and then in the morning you'd be like, crap, did I seriously throw my bra? I needed that.
But those girls weren't drunk.
I know. That's
they were on a mission to throw their bra to the band.
I really think they had to have gone and bought, like, really cheap, impractical
Well, because they look the
bras
same.
that they wouldn't actually wear.
Which is even weirder.
It is weird.
Because now you're buying a bra specifically for the band of men.
Yes. Well, you know, girls do stuff like that, so.
Here is a bra. Like...
Here's a bra. What do you think?
That would be like me buying a jockstrap to throw to you. Here, I bought this.
Please
Would
don't.
you like it?
Nope.
Here you go.
It's not
while you're
something that I ever
performing.
need to touch.
So if you're ever performing a play at your church and I show up and I throw a jockstrap onto whatever stage you're performing on.
Okay, first off, I wouldn't be in a play at
while
church.
yelling, woo!
So the yelling woo sounds like something my mom would do. But we're not throwing stuff on stage.
Like, yeah. Can I go out and
No.
just buy like a G-string,
God, no.
one of those Chippendales G-strings and throw it on stage for you? Here you go. It's all mine. Woo! Ah! It's just so weird.
Then you have to slingshot.
In the 80s, it all made sense. Girls threw their underwear up on
I
stage
know.
to Bon Jovi. It was a thing. You think
know.
about it now and you go, that's not sanitary. Either
How is a
they're
bra not sanitary? What?
no
are
a
you
bra
doing with a bra that makes it not sanitary.
No, I'm not saying a bra is not sanitary. I'm saying the underwear wasn't sanitary.
Okay, underwear, yes. Bras,
Either they're not
that's-
sanitary or it's weird because they're brand new.
Yes.
Or you brought an extra pair of underwear to throw on the stage.
The bra. You don't throw a bra. Because really, I think most girls probably
And as we
only
saw
own
with that
like
one that hit the
3,
floor,
maybe
they're
4.
horrible at aerodynamics.
Yes.
Good
Well,
slingshots,
look at the
bad
shape of
aerodynamics.
it. I don't think they were even slingshotting it. To do that,
Yeah,
you'd
you
have
can
to
use
have
it as a
good-
slingshot.
You'd have to have good elastic.
In Archer, he always uses Lana's bra as a slingshot for Molotov cocktails.
Cartoon.
Yeah, no, but Archer's always right.
I'm just saying. Cartoon.
Just the tip.
Stork. Okay.
Exactly.
Anyways,
All right, there you go.
as we discuss the aerodynamics of bras. You're
All right.
welcome.
So with that mental note, we will leave you for this evening, and it was a fun concert. So, yeah, if you get a chance to see them, do it.